Yo, it's y'all people crazy?
It's the National Football League on EA Sports, and our focus is on Darnell Washington. He should be one of his quarterback's best friends this week. It's the Steelers and the Browns, and it comes your way next on Madden Football.
Thank you to Trey Mosley for the introduction. We are indeed excited to welcome you to another edition of the NFL on EA. Coaching up here in the booth, and Greg, this is one of those games that it's a little old school. Maybe if it was in black and white, it would be fitting, right? We got a couple of teams who have to hand it off and see their running backs do it on the ground.
And it's just so cool, and you mentioned it, Mike. Maybe 10, 15 years ago, this would have been the norm on any given weekend, but we're seeing the game trend to more of a passing-style offense. If you want to score points, it mostly comes through the air. So for these two kind of throwback offenses that rely so heavily on their running backs, for anybody that loves old-school power football, I think we're in for a treat.
And they'll bring him down just shy of the 30-yard line. The Cleveland offense set to take the field for the first time. They'll be led out by a young man who's making a name for himself, their rookie quarterback.
I think when you go back and watch the film for last week, Mike, he played fairly well for the most part. Now, are there some things to clean up? Absolutely. Some of his footwork, both inside and outside the pocket, still has a long way to go. The occasional errant throw or just thinking, hey, I've got a big arm, I'm going to fit this ball in the window. Some of that stuff needs to get cleaned up, but overall, not bad. But what matters the most in losses, and he just wasn't the difference maker his team needed when they needed him the most.
They'll work now on 2nd and 4. Back to throw. He'll get this complete to Jerry Jeudy. And they will bring this into the red zone. Big connection inside the 20.
If you want to score points at a high level in the NFL, you have to generate explosive plays. And after that big chunk pass play, they find themselves now down there in the red zone. And this is where you have to finish drives.
They're at the 17-yard line now for 1st and 10. He'll drop to throw. A throw, right side, taken by Njoku.
Certainly not the biggest play of the day, but a good example of picking up positive yardage, staying ahead of the chains by a well-timed ball and a well-timed route.
Tillman, the man in motion. Now give to Chubb, running right. And the Browns are going to have it 1st and goal. He'll take this one down to about the 3-yard line. Here's Chubb. They try to push forward, but only a yard down to the 2. A little closer. Here's 2nd and goal. Down to the 1, setting up 3rd and goal. They'll look to throw. And he will fight his way to the end zone. Touchdown, Browns. Exactly the way they scripted this one. A beautiful opening drive, Greg. Able to find the end zone on the game's first possession.
And, Mike, the word that comes to mind looking at that drive is execution, and that's exactly what they talked about all week long. They wanted to come out early in this game and establish an early rhythm, and that's exactly what they did with that touchdown drive.
The extra point by Sanders is good, and the Browns will take a 7-0 lead. The kickoff team is out on the field, and we're back to it as the kick's away. It's a return. Here comes Calvin Austin. And he is stopped at 25. The drive will begin there. The Steeler offense ready to take the field for the first time. Leading this offense, their veteran quarterback.
Sometimes you can just see a player who is clearly playing in what they call the zone, right, Mike? Last week when we went back and watched, I mean, whether he was throwing touchdowns or scoring with his legs, the defense just simply didn't have an answer for him. He was arguably the best player on the field, regardless of position. If he's able to continue to do that here, it's going to be a tough group to beat.
And this play going nowhere. He is taken down behind the line of scrimmage on their first play of the game.
Well, they try to get the run game started here early on this drive, Mike, and they're just going to have to do a better job up front. There's really nowhere for this ball carrier to go. You never want to lose yards on first down, but that's exactly the case here.
Lost one on the last play, so now it's 2nd and 11. A very quick throw there, but not on the same page with his target. That's incomplete. He was looking for George Pickens there. And 3rd down coming up. Now they'll set up to throw. He'll try and get there on the ground. He's going to be brought down very close to that line to gain. They're going to mark him just a bit short. And now it's 4th down.
And that's a pretty good effort here on 3rd and long. He had nowhere to go down the field. The defense is playing real soft. He pulls it down and did all he
early big play here. They're going to go for it on 4th down. They'll run for it, and it's Pollard. And not much there. He's back to the original line. No gain on that one.
So the message this coach is sending to his huddle is very clear. It's, hey, guys, I got all the confidence in the world. We're going to be aggressive all day. We're not afraid to fail. We are going to try to score on every possession. And as a player, you can't help but love that.
The Browns offense going to take over now for the 2nd time. They've got the lead, and they'll set forth trying to build on it. They're going to do that with excellent field position. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. First down throw there is incomplete.
Even though it doesn't result in a sack, when you dial up the right pressure at the right time, Mike, sometimes that's all it takes to lead to that incompletion. The timing is just a little off between the quarterback and his intended target, and the ball falls incomplete.
And he'll work his way down inside the 30. Chewing off 7 yards on that one.
It's tough to completely celebrate, Mike, when you don't pick up the first down, but that's a run you will take every single time. I mean, good yardage in a lot of situations, it'll get you the first down, just not here.
In trouble, and he's going to be taken down. Jason Sanders on to try the field goal. This one from 52 yards away. Sanders' kick is good. And the Browns will extend to a 10-0 lead.
And this is what you want. I mean, you clearly have the advantage, but you want to continue to apply pressure. Can you score every time you get the ball? They're able to do that here. They tack on 3 and extend their lead.
Austin now to return this. And he'll work this one past the 25 to right about the 28-yard line. Set to go now on 1st and 10. They'll run. It's the rookie from Alabama. And a good job following his blockers. A gain of 7. It'll be 2nd down. Running here, it's Pollard. And he's going to be brought down up past the 45.
And a nice pickup there by the back with an explosive run play. And it's important to point out, Mike, this offensive play caller, he's still working off that opening script. It doesn't necessarily have to just be the first possession. Using formations, using run game and pass. Unmask the defense and understand where to take the play calling as the game unfolds.
He'll tuck it and take off.
Well, we've seen time and time again just how dangerous this quarterback can be.
This one complete to Hayward. And he'll try to use that size and push forward, but it will not work. They're going to get him down behind the line.
Linebacker certainly wasn't fooled on that play. Not only does he get there in a hurry, but he's able to secure that tackle and bring him down for a loss.
3rd down and 9. He'll look to throw. Taking off, he'll try to get there. Strong running there. He brings this down inside the 25.
You know this defense worked all week defending this quarterback as a scrambler, as a runner. But sometimes it's just hard to simulate until you see him in real life. His speed, his ability to create. We saw him get him here early on a big scramble. He's able to pick up the 1st down and keep the drive alive.
He was looking for that cutback lane, but it never developed, and he's tracked down behind the line.
Well, has been the case this entire first half. It's been the defense that's really carried the load for this team. Some offensive struggles, but they've done more than their part, coming through again with another big stop for a loss.
Work to do now as they come up on 2nd and long.
Here we go, set.
From out of the gun, he'll throw. That's caught by the tight end, Darnell Washington.
So the hope is when you call these underneath drag routes, you're trying to have your tight end come out the backside of the defense in space. So when you put the ball on him early, it leads to big yards after the catch. In this case,
and they're going to track him down. He couldn't find a receiver, and down he goes.
Outside of a turnover, this was probably the worst case scenario. Immediate pressure in his face with nowhere to go with the ball downfield. Just get the ball out of your hand. Live to play another down. Instead, he retreats backwards and leads to a massive loss.
Now on 4th down, the veteran Chris Boswell on for the Steelers. And that one just short of the crossbar. Couldn't quite get there. It's no good. And this stays a 2-score game. Now it's the Browns' turn as they get set to take over again on offense. They've got the 10-0 advantage here early. And they'll see if they can add to it. Beginning on this drive, 1st and 10.
Let's go.
Back to throw here to begin the drive. That one, it's on target, but it goes as an incompletion. Looked like he had that one in his grasp, but unable to hold on, and it will be 2nd down.
Oftentimes, it's the wide open ones that are the hardest to catch. It seems like the ball is in the air forever. You start overthinking it, you start really making more of it than what you should, and you let it slip away.
Here's a screen set up for 4. And they'll get about 8 out of that one, but still a little work to do now on 3rd down. So they'll talk over what to do on this 3rd down play as we have hit the end of the 1st quarter. It's the Browns with the advantage. And we're back to the Steel City after this. Here's 3rd and 2. to run it here, and it's Chubb. And it looks like he's going to have that first down. He will, not by a whole lot, but he's got it enough. They convert on third down.
In real time from up here, Mike, I couldn't tell whether or not he got it at first glance, but I think after seeing the replays we have up here, it looked like he and his blockers got just enough, and they're going to be able to keep this drive alive.
And he'll be hauled down at about the 35-yard line.
The goal of every offense, Mike, is to find a way to establish a balance between the run and the pass. With some success here early on the ground, will open up things as the game unfolds for the quarterback in this passing game.
Njoku, the tight end, is the one in motion. His throw on first down is going to be incomplete.
Up until that incompletion, they've done a really nice job on this drive, Mike, picking up fresh sets of downs. And typically, throwing the ball on first down is a great way to do it. But now they find themselves in 2nd and 10. Do you keep it in the air and try to get the first down here? Or is the idea to just make third down manageable and take your chances picking up a key third down?
Got to get this to the 25. Here's third down. They put Campbell in motion. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. So on fourth down, the lefty, Corey Bojorquez to punt for Cleveland. Calvin Austin deep for the Steelers. And no return forthcoming. It's a touchback and will come out to the 20-yard line. The Steelers offense and their quarterback headed out for their next possession. And his numbers this season, eye-popping in a lot of categories. We'll just show you one. He is the NFL leader in rushing touchdowns by a quarterback. The drive begins at the 20. Here's 1st and 10. They'll give it to Pollard to start this drive. He'll work his way forward for about 3 yards. Myles Garrett able to bring him down. Second and 7.
Here we go.
That'll be intercepted. Picked off by Martin Emerson. And his offense is going to be all set up with a short field and a chance to extend their lead.
I would love to see his weapons do a better job, Mike, especially in the middle of the field, getting open in these zones. I just feel like there's been tight coverage, a lot of little windows to throw through, and yes, anytime you turn the ball over, it's on the quarterback, but the rest of this supporting unit needs to do a better job helping him.
The Browns offense make their way out to take over once more. They start with the lead and the football. They do so with tremendous field position. It's 1st and 10. A hit, and he has lost the football. And the defense has it. When the ball comes out and the scramble for it, it ends up becoming a turnover, and the offense walks off the field disappointed with that fumble.
Mike, when you look at a stat sheet at the end of the game and you want to determine which team wins and which team loses, at the top of the list is ball security. Which team does a better job protecting it and which team does a better job taking it away.
A fresh set of downs to work with. It is 1st down and 10. The drive starts. It's a carry by Pollard. He is met and dropped. A couple of yards behind the line of scrimmage, too.
Every team makes an emphasis on winning first down, but as a defense, when you're able to take them back for a loss, 2nd and long, you can really become more of a pass-centric defense and really tips the scales into your favor.
And that ball incomplete over the middle.
Just doesn't seem to me right now that he's seeing the field very well. I mean, that last possession results in the pick. You'd expect him to come back out here and be a little bit more careful with the ball, find easier completions, find the better matchup. And instead, he puts the ball back in harm's way, and he's lucky that wasn't another interception.
A great job of knowing when to go. He gets 17 yards on that run and a first down.
This is an element that defensively you always have to be ready to defend. You can't just accept that it's a pass and be so consumed with the receivers downfield. You have to account for the quarterback as a scrambler. You can see why, as he's able to get out of the pocket and pick up.
And that time, the pressure too much. He'll go down.
I'll tell you what, if the offensive lineman had the same level of fight and effort that the quarterback did, they wouldn't be in this situation. It's a shame because that individual effort went a long way towards extending that play, and it still ended up resulting in a sack.
2nd and 11. Now inside the 25. And he will score. Calvin Austin, touchdown Pittsburgh. That touchdown #1 for him on the year. Chris Boswell on for the point after. He's got it. And the Steelers are on the board. It's 10-7. Boswell now following the touchdown. Back out to kick this one off. Here's Williams on the return. Now an opening past the 30. And he's brought down right at the 35-yard line. The Browns offense ready to take over once again. They lead by a field goal as they go to work with a 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Chubb. He'll be stacked up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play.
The integrity of the defense, Mike, is based on every defender holding their gap. That's exactly what we saw out of this defensive tackle. Not only did he hold his gap, he's able to shed his block and make the play.
And he got rid of that one quickly before the receiver even knew what was going on. That's incomplete.
Timing and trust. Critical elements of this quick passing game. If your target and the quarterback are not on the same page, it winds up being an incompletion and a wasted down.
He'll get that into the hands of Nick Chubb. And he'll be stopped short of a first down, and that will necessitate a call to the punt team. It's 4th down.
Even though they gave up that last completion, Mike, that's a really good drive there for this defense. I mean, from the beginning, on those early downs, keeping them from staying ahead of the chains, put them in a tough 3rd down situation, and now it brings up 4th down, and looks like they're going to get off the field.
Oh, hello! He is stopped in his tracks on that one. They made sure that return was not going any farther. 1st and 10. Out of the gun, they give it to Pollard. The defense all over this one. They get him behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a couple.
You have to wonder if next time does the play caller give his quarterback some options to check out of this play. It was clear before the ball was snapped. This was not a great look for that play call, and you can see the end result.
This one complete to Washington. Well, that helps. It's going to be a much more manageable 3rd down, getting some good yardage on that 2nd down play.
Not every pass has to be thrown downfield. You can rely on the run after catch, especially a big body like this tight end. Get the ball in his hands early and let him pick up the rest after the catch.
He'll try to run for it. And he's going to be taken down on the other side of the 50-yard line. He's been elusive in this first half. Look at those rushing numbers for him. Defense definitely going to have to find a way to keep him in check.
set. Here we go, set.
Off play action. And this time the rush gets home. And down he goes. Zadarius Smith forcing his way in to bring him down.
It's just so hard to get anything going when you're just not confident running your own system, and all these early sacks. Yes, they kill drives, but think what it does to the quarterback. The quarterback just can't be confident operating out of the pocket. There's no rhythm, there's no timing, and everything you planned on doing today coming in is out the window.
First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a first down.
Let's go.
On the toss, they'll run. Well, he shows you the elusiveness getting out of one tackle, but not the other. Fortunate, really, to get back to the line of scrimmage on that play.
The offense is trying to test the edges of the perimeter of this defense, Mike, but the defense is just too quick to the ball. Total team defense.
And that is intercepted by Denzel Ward. And the Browns force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27-yard line.
When you find yourself in this situation, Mike, you're on defense, you're defending your own goal line, you got to take some chances. You got to try to force a turnover and make a play and get off the field. That's exactly what this defender did. Takes a chance, bets on himself, and comes away with a pick to save them some points.
The Browns offense ready for this next possession. They'll begin with 1st and 10.
Let's go now.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He'll air it out down the middle. And he can't hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. What a good job defensively to meet him just as the ball was arriving. And it'll be 2nd down. A very quick throw there, but not on the same page with his target. That's incomplete.
I think at some point for this quarterback, he has to start looking some other directions. I mean, he's tried to get the ball now to this guy multiple times, and all of them have resulted in incomplete passes. I'm not saying don't throw it to him in the future, but maybe get yourself a couple easy completions elsewhere before you look back in his direction.
Here's Corey Bojorquez now, as he is on to punt for Cleveland. Here's Austin to return. That could have broken for a bigger return, but as it is, nice job getting his offense a start out past the 30-yard line. Steelers up. This one has been tight so far. A field goal separating the two sides as this drive kicks off with 1st and 10. Right away, they'll set up to throw.
The biggest issue and why they find themselves trailing in this game, Mike, has really just been the ups and downs of this passing game. That sometimes he's highly accurate and efficient, but at others, he just misses too many easy throws. The question is, are they going to be able to overcome this quarterback inconsistency and pull this game out? We see this time and time again in the NFL, Mike. You want to play quarterback at this level, you better figure out a way to be able to bounce back following a bad throw, a bad series, a bad game. And in this case, he's got to bounce back from a pick on the last drive, and he's got to find himself some easy completions and settle himself back into this one.
He'll get a dozen out of that one, scrambling his way to a 1st down. That escape ability on display. As you can see, the rushing total now over 100 yards from the quarterback position. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And he can't hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. What a good job defensively to meet him just as the ball was arriving. And it'll be second down. They'll throw out of the gun. He finds Wilson coming across the field. And they'll move this one down inside the 40-yard line. Here comes Chris Boswell to try a field goal. Spotted at the 45. This is a 55-yard attempt. This one not going to get there. From distance, it is no good. So we've reached halftime, and the visiting Browns are on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando now, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Michael, we'll get back to you and Greg in just a little bit. For now, plenty of early action in the 1 o'clock Eastern window to get you caught up on. So let's get to it. We'll get started up at Paycor Stadium in Cincinnati. And it's the Bengals who have the lead in the second quarter. Jamar Chase, a touchdown reception. From there, we'll head down to Charlotte to check on the Panthers at home at Bank of America Stadium. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Minnesota Vikings. 2 touchdown passes for Kirk Cousins there. Lastly, let's get you to MetLife Stadium to see what's happening with the Giants at home in East Rutherford. As you can see, the score there in the second quarter. The Giants still in a dogfight, but this would be a good victory for them if they could get it. This one's been as good as advertised. Just a field goal separating these two teams. This was a very level first half, and I'd expect to see more of the same after the break. Both these teams running through their final adjustments. It's time for the second half. And for the call, let's get it back out to Mike Tirico and Greg Olson.
Coach, thanks. This one's still anyone's game. We'll see who can come out with the hot hand in this second half. About to get started. And he's down at the 23, and that's where the offense will take over. The Steelers offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And this defense has really had their way so far, intercepting him twice, forced into a number of bad throws, and generally the D has just made it tough to operate all game long. Operating from their own 23, they'll begin 1st and 10.
Here we go, Shaq.
Finding room at the 35. And finally, they'll bring him down, but he's up beyond the 45-yard line.
There's a combination of footwork and vision, his ability to kind of weave through traffic and understand where the holes were. It's a really nice job working through some bodies and picking up a big gain.
So they come to the line for 1st down and 10.
Go! Check go!
Blitz coming. He'll throw it. Now he takes off. And he will take this into the end zone. What a run! Touchdown Steelers. His second TD of the game, and this one gives his team the lead. You talk about a quarterback getting things done with his legs. Everything covered downfield, but they couldn't cover him as he went down the field for a touchdown.
Mike, sometimes as a defensive coordinator, you just can't prepare for everything. In this case, you have the play defended perfectly. Passing lanes are all taken away. Everyone in coverage is where they're supposed to be. So what does the quarterback do? He tucks the ball away, and he takes it the distance for 6.
Boswell now following the touchdown. Back out to kick this one off. Now return coming from the 7. He'll get this up to the 28-yard line. Nice place for the drive to start. Nick Chubb and the rest of the Browns offense set to take over again. They trail by 4. A touchdown gives them the lead. Drive begins with 1st and 10. comes the blitz as he looks to throw. Oh, a short throw there, but it's going to end up incomplete. That's a pass he'll say he should have had. Instead, he does not, and it brings up second down. They'll go with Chubb. And the defense all over this one. They knock him down. It'll go down as a loss of 2.
Great job by that linebacker timing his blitz. He didn't give any indication to the offense that he was coming. And he's able to get through that hole and take the ball carrier down for a loss.
And this drive is over before it can start. He's swallowed up to force 4th down. Punting time for the Browns. They're set to kick it away, as he'll hit this from just outside of his own goal line. And good coverage by the punt team. They stop him before he can get any return cranked up. The Steelers offense ready to see what they can do. The lead sits at 4, so they'll try to add on to that. This drive begins with 1st and 10. They'll run the toss. Here's Pollard. Up the sideline, past midfield. Down the sideline to the 20. They're going to have it 1st and goal. He'll be out of bounds at about the 5-yard line. A big play to kick off this drive. A gain of 57 yards.
Wow, I mean, he's going to be disappointed he wasn't able to take that all the way, but that's still a heck of a run. In the end, after a good tackle to save the touchdown, they're still going to be set up with 1st and goal.
So after the big play to start, now we have 1st and goal. He'll be wrapped up there down at the 3-yard line. The ball a little closer now. It is 2nd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. They'll try and run. Here's Pollard. And he will take this one across into the end zone. Tony Pollard. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. So on 3rd and goal, they run it in. Sometimes, Greg, that's 4-down territory. They didn't need to do it on 4th down. Taking care of it on the 3rd down for the touchdown.
Yeah, and when you find yourself down here this close, Mike, you have to finish these drives off. I'm with you. I think he was going to give his back 2 shots there to punch it in, but he only needed 1.
Boswell adds the extra point, and the Steelers are out to a 21-10 lead. He'll work this one past the 25 to right about the 28-yard line. The visitors' offense headed back to take over once more. They look to make some inroads here. They're down 21-10 in this one as they come up on a 1st down. Trying to find some place to go, but nothing developing. Tackled behind the line. It's a loss of 1.
How often do we see linebackers be so fast trying to track down the ball carrier that they end up actually overrunning the play and allowing the running back to cut back? But not this guy. Does a great job staying in phase, stretching this ball out sideways, and he brings him down for a loss.
And that's going to be incomplete. Coverage was good that time. The contact jarring the ball loose and forcing 3rd down. He's got his man complete. That's Judy. A big one there on 3rd down. Good for 26 yards.
3rd downs, Mike, those are quarterback downs. Those are the downs where you tend to find yourself in a must-pass situation, and that's where the top guys in the league are still capable of overcoming it. So throw the ball downfield, be accurate with the ball. Winning on third downs, that is a recipe for success.
A shotgun snap. He'll look to throw. Oh, and a short throw there, but it's going to end up incomplete. That's a pass you say he should have had. Instead, he does not, and it brings up second down. They'll stay on the ground with Chubb. Running room hard to come by as he'll get ahead for a yard. Patrick Queen, the linebacker. They're on the tackle. 3rd and 9. They bring Judy in motion. They'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
So defensively, there's always the initial pass coverage plan, and then when that breaks down and the quarterback goes into scramble mode, how fast can you then move on to the second phase and what they call plaster, meaning find the nearest receiver and almost play him man-to-man, and it's exactly what they did here, and there was nowhere for the ball to go, and he's forced to just throw it away.
The home team's offense and running back Tony Pollard going to take over once again, and you have to imagine the defense is saying, how do we stop this guy? He has run roughshod through him to this point in the third quarter. And a nice run there. He'll be stopped just shy of a first down. A pickup of 9.
This is one of those cases where having high-end speed in the backfield can be such a game changer. The offensive linemen don't need to hold their blocks quite as long. You give this guy a little bit of a crease, and man, he is gone.
An enviable spot to operate from. Here's 2nd and inches. Up the middle, here comes Pollard. And that should be enough. He works his way forward to pick up a first down.
It's possible they could have tried to be a little bit more aggressive on 2nd down, knowing they had 3rd and inches in their back pocket. But I don't think anyone's going to complain. Pick up the first down, extend the drive, see if you can go score.
On the blitz, overwhelming the offensive line, and down he goes.
Looked like a pass protection breakdown. They had 5 offensive linemen and a running back in the backfield. I promise you, somebody was assigned to that linebacker, but he timed the blitz perfectly. He ran through and was able to bring him down for a big sack. Defense does a nice job here initially using zone coverage to take away the middle of the field. That's the most valuable real estate in football. Quarterback gets off his first read, sees some openings to the sideline, and him and his receiver are able to connect.
Nowhere to go. He's going to be taken down.
If they win this game, this pass rush is going to be a big reason why. The 5 sacks speak for itself, but their ability to disrupt the timing of this offense, that can't be overstated.
This brought in out past the 20. And he'll be brought down, short return, and they'll take over there. The visitors' offense ready to get back at it. The deficit is double digits, so work to do as they begin this drive with 1st and 10. He'll run. This is Jerome Ford. And he's brought down after a gain of a couple. Second down and 8. They'll run the draw with Chubb. And he's going to be stopped in his tracks. He'll lose a couple of yards on that one.
Anytime you run a draw, you're hoping the linebacker reads pass and starts dropping into his pass coverage. That's what creates space for your running back to get going. Well, not this time. The linebacker saw it from the jump. He's able to penetrate in the backfield and take the runner down for a loss.
On 3rd down, they'll set up to throw. And that is incomplete.
This offense has to find a way to be better on 1st and 2nd down, Mike. Living in these 3rd and long situations, must pass, is not a recipe that their offensive coordinator wants to operate in.
And that's a nice job of getting to him, making sure that return was not going anywhere. The home team's offense and their running back getting ready to go back to work. And as you take a look at the numbers, you have to imagine he was the topic of conversation in that locker room at halftime. They got to find a way to slow him down. Nothing they've done has worked so far. And they'll be set up now. Up past the 40 with that one.
It's too early at this point, Mike, to really start thinking about the clock. You definitely don't want to go into a shell. And now this is the point in the game where having a good ground game really starts to take over. You throw to get the lead, but man, once you get it, that ground game, that's what finishes the game off.
That's a pickup of 33. The defense bewildered. A rough start to this drive.
At this point, it just gets frustrating for the defense, right? I mean, you've been watching this guy make big play after big play all game long, not only on the quarterback-designed runs, but it's the scrambles that can really break the back of the defense, and we saw it again here.
They'll break the huddle. Coming up now for 1st and 10.
Go!
They'll run here with Pollard. They'll come up now for 2nd down and 4.
Let's go!
Again, it's Pollard. And he will work his way to the 11-yard line. Good running and a 1st down. So we are through 3. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL on EA Sports. They can still get a 1st down at the 1. 1st and 10, they go from the 11. Off he goes. He is in. Touchdown, Steelers. Greg, that's one of those scores where it's not completely over, but it's getting to be about that time.
Yeah, Mike, I just think they're entering miracle stage right now, and I just don't think there's any coming back from this deficit.
On for the extra point is Boswell. The kick is good. And the Steelers will open it up even further here in this 4th quarter. Boswell now following the touchdown. Back out to kick this one off. Williams now to return. And this will work out quite well. He'll get it all the way out to the 30-yard line. The visitors' offense getting their final instructions before heading back onto the field. Things not looking good. But see if they get the turnaround going here. They'll start this drive with 1st down. Open man, and that's Tillman. And he's close to a 1st down to gain a 9. Nice pitch and catch on 1st down.
The best quarterbacks, Mike, they have an internal clock in their head. How does my protection match up with the rush and the route concept I'm trying to attack downfield? In this case, he's looking downfield, realizes...
And he's going to go down yet again. He has been under fire all game long.
Sometimes you just have to know when the play is over and live to play another down. He has pressure coming right at him, and instead of just throwing the ball away, he tries to escape, he tries to get creative, and he ends up losing a lot more yards than he should have.
Work to do following the sack. It is 3rd and long. And this is going to be incomplete. That is a letdown there. Pass looked to be on target. No catch. And now 4th down.
Mike, when you're completing less than 35% of your passes, you're just not going to win a lot of games in the NFL. He's just too erratic throughout the course of the game. Sometimes it's exactly how they...
Oh, the blitz gets there. He is sacked, and they will turn it over on down.
You find yourself down big. It's the 4th quarter. There's really no choice but to go for this at this point. But once again, this defense, they're up to the task, and they come through yet again with a huge stop.
Here comes the Pittsburgh offense now, heading back onto the field. And this crowd certainly has liked what they have seen. Their guys fully expected to win this one coming in. They have not disappointed, as they have the advantage here in the 4th. They'll come up here, 1st and 10. Now a handoff to Pollard. And this is going to be a big loss. He kept retreating, looking for an escape hatch. Found nothing. And they get him down well behind the line.
You have to appreciate the effort. The guy's given everything he has to try to make something out of nothing, but understand sometimes you just have to live to survive another down and not take a big loss.
Work in the middle of the field, but that is incomplete.
Well, we all know the running joke, right, Mike? If this guy could catch, he'd be playing offense. And, well, I think that's kind of a joke for the past. These defensive players are incredible these days. That's just too easy. You've got to secure that interception for your defense and get off the field.
And he's into the end zone yet again. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. And that touchdown probably, Greg, ends any small hopes of a comeback on the other side.
Yeah, and I think those chances, Mike, were small to begin with, but with that last score, I think this one is pretty much over.
Boswell now for the extra point. He gets it to go, and the Steelers tack on one more to their lead. Boswell now following the touchdown. Back out to kick this one off. On the return, it's Williams. And he'll be brought down past the 25. Decent field position to start this drive. Now it's the Browns' turn as they get set to take over again on offense. And look, they've been out of sorts throughout, Greg. They haven't had any answer for this pass rush all game.
Yeah, and it's really showing up in the sacks and also just in their ability to prevent any yards, any completions. This has just been a dominant pass defense performance here, and everything starts with the rush. The quarterback's uncomfortable. The clock gets sped up. He's got guys in his face. It's a lot easier to play defensive back and in some of these coverage units when you know that ball's got to come out fast. And right now, they're teeing off and taking advantage of it.
We'll try again. It's 2nd and 10. Throwing now from the... And this offensive line just has no answers right now. It's another sack. Third and long. Njoku, the tight end, is the one in motion. He's going to take a shot down the field. Inside the 30. And he will take this one in. 79 yards. Touchdown, Cleveland. Well, it's not going to be enough, but at least they find the end zone at the end of a hard week's work. This will pay off with a touchdown, Greg.
Mike, you can just chalk this one up in the column of too little, too late. Give credit to this offense for not going down without a fight, but they're not going to have enough time to find themselves back in this one.
Both teams ready to go once more as the kick's away. From the 6, here comes a return. Oh, he's got room past the 30. Nice job on the return. He's down close to the 35-yard line. The Steelers' offense getting those helmets back on, ready to head out for their next possession. And certainly some optimism that this is the end. This is the week they're going to put it all together and end that long losing streak. They are not home yet, but they are in control here in the 4th.
Let's go.
1st and 10, and they give it to Pollard. And they get this one across midfield to the 47-yard line.
And this running game has really been rolling, Mike, all game long. The holes, the run lanes, they've been there consistently. Here's another nice run as they look to put this game away.
Here's 1st and 10. He runs with it.
You know, Mike, nice job here by the quarterback, just understanding on these early downs, you just don't want to go backwards. So he's able to avoid the negative play, pick up a little bit, and mostly avoid the sack.
Here's 2nd and 9. Now, faking the give. Pressure gets there, and down he goes.
So after surrendering their 6th sack of the game, I looked down on the sideline, Mike, and found their offensive line coach. He grabbed his headset, removed it, and he slammed it on the ground. And truthfully, I don't blame him. His unit has been getting worked up front all day in pass protection.
So, backed up after the sack, and now it's 3rd and long. Back to throw. Taking off, he'll try to get there. He's going to be brought down very close to that line to gain. They're going to mark him just a bit short, and now it's 4th down.
Quarterback does a nice job here sensing the pressure pretty quickly, realizes he doesn't have a ton of time to operate from within the pocket, decides to tuck the ball and rely on his legs. He's able to pick up a positive play.
They only need a yard, and it's 4th down. Moving the tight end right. They'll run for it, and it's Pollard. And he's not going to get there. The defense was ready for it, and they stuff him on 4th down.
Well, that play had no chance from the start. The running back was not even able to make it back to the original line of scrimmage. Give credit to that defensive line. That was an incredible effort, forcing that 4th down stop.
The Browns offense ready to come back out for this next possession. They'll try to establish some tempo as they start this one with 1st and 10. Short pass taken in by the tight end. That's a nice pickup on a 1st down throw. It's a gain of 8.
Outbreaking routes, Mike, especially outside of the numbers, everything is about the timing. If you're late with the throw, you're going to be watching that defensive back take that thing the other way for 6.
He'll drop to throw. And he got rid of that one quickly before the receiver even knew what was going on. That's incomplete.
Well, it's pretty clear the main reason why they find themselves trailing in this game, Mike, has really just been the inefficiency of this offense, and primarily out of the quarterback position. I mean, to complete less than half of your pass attempts, it just makes it very hard to compete at a high level consistently in the NFL. And if they want to find themselves having any chance of getting back into this game and winning this one, he's going to have to get a lot better with the ball.
They'll look to throw yet again. He'll be hit as he throws, and that one will wind up incomplete. Could not step into the throw that time. It'll bring up second down.
Here we go.
They'll look to throw again. They'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
You can't fault the quarterback on this one, Mike. He really didn't even have much of an opportunity. By the time he hit the top of his drop and got his eyes downfield, the defense was all over him, and he really had no choice but to just get that ball out of his hand and live to play another snap.
And on third down, that ball incomplete. Jerry Jeudy, the intended target, and now it's fourth down. Now they'll set up to throw. And that is incomplete. The defense very happy to see that play call. The decision to go for the fourth and long will end up in a turnover on downs.
So this offense, they think this is a prime opportunity to go for it through the air on fourth down. But this defense was having none of it. Nowhere for the quarterback to go with the ball, no easy completions, and this defense forces a huge stop on fourth down.
Ready?
Set to go now on 1st and 10.
Let's go. Ready?
And a spirited run there, somehow managing to gain a couple of yards. Look him up on a second down and 8. 50. He'll set up to throw. And they'll move this one down inside the 40-yard line.
Every once in a while, it just comes down to you need somebody in the huddle to just make a play. And it wasn't a whole lot fancy here. The quarterback just dumps the ball down, a quick underneath completion, and then really it's the yards after catch that did the rest. And that's what it takes. You're not always going to have the perfect play. You're not always going to dial up the perfect play against the perfect look. Sometimes players need to make plays, and that was a good one there.
A gain there of 20. Good for a Steeler first down.
We've seen this quarterback have some effective plays with his legs all game today, Mike. He knows when to stay in there and look to pass, but he also knows when it's time to tuck it and go, and he's able to pick up good yardage there.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. On the give, it's Pollard. He's able to get away for one man, but those reinforcements, they got there quick. Take him down behind the line.
I'd like to see that running back be a little bit more decisive with his cut, Mike. You can see he was a little hesitant, and once you're late making that decision, you just kind of get strong laterally. Great job there by the defense, and he has no choice but to take that loss.
They'll run once more, and it's Pollard again. And he'll be taken down. And his fine afternoon on the ground continues. The last run going to put him up over 100 yards for this one.
Ready?
2 yards from 6 points. It is first down and goal. They'll run here. It's Pollard. Trying to push the pile forward. He didn't even get to the 1-yard line. They stop him short. No gain.
Well, after being stopped for no gain on first down on the ground, Mike, it brings up the question. 2nd and goal from the 2. What do? I like throwing it. I don't like waiting till 3rd down to air the ball out. So if they want to take a shot at the end zone, I think it's got to be here on 2nd and goal.
And this one's blown up. It's back at the 5-yard line now.
It makes sense on 2nd and goal, Mike, to keep this ball on the ground. You always have 3rd down again to finally punch it in. But now after the defense forces you backwards, I think you have to consider putting this one in the air here on 3rd and goal.
Throwing here on 3rd and goal. He bought all the time he could, but he's going to be taken down as he couldn't get a throwaway.
A loss of 6 yards brings up 4th and goal.
And they just took a timeout with 2 seconds to go. This one's decided. Not sure they needed to take the timeout, but take it with them. The offense will stay out there, but they've got some yards to pick up. 4th down and goal. The tight end going in motion to the left. They'll try to run. Strong. And he'll be brought down there, and that'll put a wrap on this one. Time has expired in this 4th quarter. So this one in the win column for the Steelers. And it is a season sweep for them. They defeat their division rivals for the 2nd time this year. So that'll do it for us. For Greg Olson and our terrific team behind the scenes, I'm Mike Tirico. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. Follow us on X at EA Madden NFL. The Steelers, winners, as we say so long from the confluence of the Three Rivers in Pittsburgh.